It's the after lunch walk around and the previous video is currently uploading and it's rained between what you see on that and this video, which accounts for why there's no rice exposed for drying. It's still warm, not hot at the moment, but I can feel a few spots of rain on my hat just the same. Well, we have the flag celebrating the fact the roof is up by the look of it, and we do have the trusses in this interval between the end columns and the end wall, so I'm interested to go and have a look and see how that's attached at the far end. As you can see, we don't have the beam for it to sit on at this end at the bottom like we do inside the wall, so they've tied it back across to the other one. That makes sense. As you can see, the end scaffolding has come down, so it's now on to beautification of the columns. That ones have been roughed up, so that'll get cleaned up and look nice and neat, like that one there. And they've got all the ones along the back wall to do yet too, so there's quite a bit of work yet to be done on the concrete. And the first sheets of roofing have come down from the rice factory. So flags up top and coconuts, bananas hung in the ceiling. Some sort of local tradition. Oh, okay. That's harmless enough. Same deal on the west end. Hooked back to the truss for the south section of the roof. The garden bed looks like it's almost done. Be rendering on both sides perhaps, although if it's going to be a garden bed with dirt in it, maybe not. Maybe they just cement the top. I don't know, we'll see. And of course the construction of that garden bed is why the backhoe had to be removed from that vicinity. It was going to be a bit in the way. And I think they must be getting nearly done with the cleaning up of the top of the fence. And all of these front trusses that project down towards that front beam, they'll have extensions using that bit of material you can see leaning up against there. They'll be extended down to the front rain gutter. And this had a patch of mortar mix earlier, and you can see I mentioned that it had rained since the upload of the video started up earlier. There it is. I guess it's not really end of day because they're still working. But yes, they're getting a bit of foil down on the north slope and some purlins. They've extended all those pieces down to the front rain gutter there. Okay, I guess there's more garden bed along here as well. That's going to be bloody awkward because I was planning to use the compact track loader and the forks to lift the diesel generator onto that concrete pad behind the tank there. Ow. It's the morning walk around and I don't actually see much change on the state of that pile, so I suspect that the guys are busier on other things. It should be redundant by this stage to say that it rained overnight, but obviously it's fine at the moment and warming up. It's only about 9 o'clock in the morning, but the ice is drying and some of my roof has departed from here. I see a truck arriving, which will be bags of cement, I imagine. Looks like they're taking in the flags to get them out of the way. But yeah, it's a hive of activity again. They're using masonry bolts to attach the rails to the top of the wall. And do a similar thing for attaching the crane rails to their supports. But, yep, it's full on busy. And now I've got a cat rubbing around my legs, wanting attention. We've got too many cats around here, so I don't want to encourage her really. And she's a nice cat, but she keeps getting pregnant. Not really a good thing around here. Too many cats. Discussed with Jabida and Dadang last night the challenges that this garden bed stuff is going to provide for me, getting the generator over onto that platform at the back. So I think at this stage we're going to just stack bricks in. So, and then when we drive the machine over it, we fix what breaks afterwards. But stack lots of bricks in between the walls, and perhaps higher than the walls. Make a solid platform that we can drive the machine onto. But yeah, we'll see. I told Jabida about the problem. She said, oh, take it down again. No. The wall's there now. We won't take it down, we'll just work around it. We'll find a solution. And it's always the way it works, is obstacles get put in place, you know, okay, how do we overcome that? Well, we still had no shortage of bricks.
Saat kesulitan, aduh, kesulitan. Ambil ngelorkan. Atas kesulitan pasti ada. Oh, itu positif anak. Mau orang anak. Apa kau ini?
The machine was used this morning to create one batch of mix for mortar. Also being used for rendering, as I could see. If you can see past those C-channels leaning up against the front of the building there, and past the pillars behind those, there's a man in a blue pullover doing nice touch-up work on the fence. Just had some clarification on this. We've moved the end frame across for the front to sit on top of the wall, but the other one's sort of in place now, so they're going to put another frame in there rather than move that one. And we've done the same at this end. Ezra just told me that we're up to 1,800 sacks of cement at this stage, so we're up to 90 tonnes. And the current plan is that we're going to do concrete from basically the alignment of this end wall here back towards the east. So that's all going to be concreted. Yes, I've caught in the market in concrete. But we'll leave this area out here so that we can do other things with it later. And another load of gravel's made its way around from the front. Okay, these guys want to be on film.
Thank you.
Okay. Delivering some more rocky fill by the look of it, because there's gravel and there's a truck. I think that's rocky fill rather than gravel in there. I don't know whether they're going to clean this up, make space for them or not. Dadang's out there rearranging the rice. for it to dry out more. Keeps him a bit busy. So we're getting the foil and purlins on the north slope. The sparrows checking out where they're going to live. Yesterday Jabita was saying that she saw one of the guys who'd been working here and said, "Oh, I haven't seen you lately." He said, "Oh, a broken hand." He showed her his hand. It didn't look pretty, didn't look good. So hands hurts too much to work. So he did that moving rocks for us. So I asked Jabita, "Did you offer to pay for his doctor visit?" He said, "Yeah, I gave him money for that." Good. Because I wouldn't like to think that a guy who'd been injured working for us was left without income and no prospect of going to a doctor to get things fixed up. So hopefully he'll be okay and be able to come back to work. There's no health safety net here for people. If you can't afford to go to the doctor, you don't go to the doctor. So if you have a broken limb and you can't afford to go to the doctor, you heal up wherever you can. So you get old people who break a hip or something like that and they're just immobilised. Yeah, this is part of why Jabita is constantly urging the need to be careful, even though we can't afford some medical costs. It's the end of day walk around, and you can see up the top up there, the plan is actually to have the roof overhang by 1/2 metre, which is all very well. That'll make the overall roof length 15 metres instead of 14, but I have one thing I want to check. Now at the top of this column there is that eye bolt, ring bolt, and there's cable that goes from that across to the back of our house over there. Now the question becomes, if the roof projects 1/2 metre beyond the end here, is that cable going to be able to get there without intersecting the roof edge? And now I know why this gutter projects 1/2 metre. They'd been planning this for a long time. I just hadn't been aware. Questions. My pad for the genset's been cleaned up. And I started cleaning up the walkway through there by the look of it, which is a bit premature because they're probably going to do a bit of render clean up on the end of the tank here. I'm still working on that column there, and this one a little bit more. And I've taken off that ladder that went up the side. A few more nails to remove. So the current plan is to leave this section, the corner here, low like this, but further along they'll bring it up to the level of the floor here. Then after we've moved the genset in across this, then they'll build the sides up again to the level of those up there. So there's a plan. And the it's not really clear there, but the truss that was halfway between the wall and the end columns is now back on the top of the wall, so that's good. Now hard at work in the distance at the rice factory, shuffling rice around into bags. And I'm betting it's going to be raining again overnight, if not sooner, because the sky looks pretty dark. But we did get good sunlight today, so my batteries are fully charged, unlike yesterday. It's the morning walk around, and as usual, it's rained overnight. And up there fixing the south roof in place by the look of it. So you can see that the edge is going to be half a metre outboard of the end columns. So yeah, it does give me that question about where the cable from between the eye bolts is going to go. I think that has to go through the roof. Yeah, well, I'll go and ask. Pointed out the problem with the cable going through the edge of the roof to Asda. We discussed it a bit. Now what we'll do is we'll tie around this column, either tie lower down, sort of, if we go just above that lower beam there, that should clear the edge of the roof, or we can go above the top beam and we'll go over the top of the north roof, so we can make this happen. I think from the point of view of running the cable, it might be easiest to go above that top beam, because the electrical cable from inside can come up and through the edge of the insect mesh up the top. Looking through the cement shelter to those two tanks over in Lisa's back patio, I'm thinking that since they've got that bigger one now, that will probably go on the tank stand over there, and the smaller one could be here. Well, it's afternoon walk around. Not quite sure how to read this, whether we're talking about garden bed on the left, walkway in the middle, and garden bed on the right, or whether it's 3 garden beds. But from the look of this one, that doesn't look like a garden bed, that just looks like a path, sort of might get concreted, I don't know. Again, find out later. We have formwork up again on the edge of the tank there. That'll be to pretty up the top. 2 of the south windows have been prettied up, and the third one can't be far off. It's almost set up for it, just a little bit of scaffolding in the way. We had the sheets of roofing iron on from the east end up to a couple of pieces from the west end. Almost done on the south side. And just thinking about when the crew come to install the solar panels on the top, whether it's better to go up straight up over the front edge, or whether it's better to stage on top of the water tanks and then go up over the end. I'm sure the experts will figure that out when they get here. Well, that's a few months away, that part. Well, there's that rocky fill that was on the truck yesterday. Not quite sure where all that's intended to go. I was going to say I was surprised there was no rice out for drying, but I see there is a little bit out. And I think we've had delivery of more sea channel by the look of that. Okay. It's all good. Looks like they've made a fair bit of headway on the rocky fill. I might have to go and see if I can figure out where it went. Looks like beautification of the east wall of, east side of the east fence is pretty much done now. The roof appears to be complete on the south face, and what's that, about a third of the north face at this stage. See how dark inside that makes it. A few of the rocks have come to here, but I think mostly it's back in the car park area, and in front of the building up here. A little bit into here. This will be a footpath along the side, and I speculated earlier that there'll be 2 garden beds with a walkway down the middle, and that's correct, it turns out. It's morning walk around. Rock piles are diminishing. I've seen one handcart go past this morning when I was paying attention. There's probably been others. Let's go and see what else is going on. There's no rice out for drying at the rice factory because it's actually quite dull at the moment, and it may be going to rain again. That's an interesting hood ornament. So we've got the last few sheets of metal going up in the roof, and they've got to figure out how to fill in all the gaps so that birds don't fly through the gaps between the roof and the walls. A mix of water/render was made this morning, and it is currently going up on top of the tank. I guess that must be to try and make that nice and neat now, and construct the surrounds for the input port and the manholes, I guess. Now that we have a roof on the shed, that can be used as a shelter for the bags of cement, so I'm guessing the cement shelter is about to come down, because they look like they're just about to start moving stuff over here. And then they can start looking at putting concrete down in that car park. Now this looks like it's where the rocky fill's been coming to. And here comes the rain, so I might just go away and edit this down and upload it, and come out again after the rain has stopped for the next episode.